They're becoming more common. In two separate incidents, hours apart, armed people enter banks demanding their own money. Lebanon is in crisis. For 3 years, people haven't been able to access their savings because of informal capital controls. Sally Hafiz is among them. Armed with a handgun, she was accompanied by activists who threatened bank employees before she was given $13,000 from her account.
In this country, this is the only way to get our money back. We didn't steal this money. We worked hard to earn it.
Sally says she needs the money to pay for her sister's cancer treatment. In a similar incident last month, an armed man named Bassam al-Sheikh Hassan held hostages at a bank for nearly 10 hours before receiving part of his trapped savings. He too said he needed money to pay for his father's hospital bill. Many others like Sally and Bassam, who are facing strict limits on withdrawals of foreign currency, gathered outside the bank after the incident. We are ruled by thieves who are forcing us to use violence, protesters chanted. People are losing patience. The economic collapse is in its third year. The currency has crashed, unemployment is high, and government services are nearly non-existent. People believe politicians and bankers are protecting themselves while they are suffering as a result of the financial crisis. Bank deposits were used to fund the state and cover deficits. Now, the state is nearly bankrupt. Total losses amount to more than $70 billion.
Bank deposits turned violent in Zhengzhou in China. Police clashing with demonstrators on Sunday. Demonstrators who were angry that some rural banks have kept millions of dollars frozen since April. At the time, the banks said they were upgrading their internal systems, but customers say they've heard nothing from the banks about the matter since then. The protest was among the largest in China since the pandemic. For more on this, I'm joined by CNN's Stephen Zhang in Beijing. Extraordinary scenes. What's behind it? What's being done about it?
Michael, indeed such an extraordinary scene to see more than 1,000 people show up on Sunday morning to stage this rare protest in front of the provincial branch of the country's central bank demanding their money back. But that's also why the provincial authorities went to such great lengths, as you mentioned, even tampering with these people's health QR codes, which is such a basic necessity for anyone in China to leave their homes these days. But that effort really failed after a nationwide backlash, which is why this protest eventually took place, with demonstrators really training their fire at the local authorities, hurling the Chinese national flags and chanting slogans, with some banners accusing the local police of using violence against them and even calling for human rights and the rule of law. But their peaceful tactics really didn't make their protest last that long. After a few hours of standoff, you could see hundreds of local security personnel, many plainclothes agents charging towards this crowd, forcibly removing everyone, including the elderly and children. Anyone who resisted got kicked and punched, some sustaining injuries and got sent to local hospitals, according to some protesters, and most people got taken to nearby makeshift detention centers. But these protesters' actions really have garnered a lot of sympathy and support from around the country, because people feel they could relate to their situation, as these people were mostly low-income people who put their life savings into these banks because of their faith in the country's banking system. But then they, of course, lost almost everything. And their plight is especially being shared because the economy here is being battered by the country's continued zero COVID policies, with a wide range of industries really under growing distress. And this, of course, is also happening in a very sensitive year politically, as Chinese Supreme Leader Xi Jinping is expected to assume a precedent-breaking third term later this year, and his whole legitimacy reputation very much built on this idea of the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. So this kind of incident's huge embarrassment for him, for sure. That's why we've seen the local authorities there take such extreme actions to suppress this peaceful protest, because they're so worried about a tinderbox situation. They simply do not want to see any sparks that could ignite more anger and frustration, not only in their province, but across China. Michael?
All right, Stephen Jiang in Beijing. Appreciate the wrap up there. What?
They refuse to give them their money. And this happens when there's inflation. All right. And the actual money basically becomes worthless. Okay. And that's what's happening to the dollar. Okay. Right here in Babylon the Great, America. Our dollar is being devalued every day. So any day we could wake up and they tell us, hey, you know, the banks are down. Okay. Or you might go and see a long line where people are trying to use their debit card and they're not going to be able to do it. So that's what's coming our way very, very soon. Zephaniah 1 verses 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Howl, ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of Yahweh is bitter. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man, shall cry there bitterly. All right, so this is the day of the Lord, and it's fastly approaching. And when we read about the great crashing in the hills, and in the fish gate, all right, that is the great crash that's coming. We've had the 2008 crash. We've had the Great Depression back in the 1930s, and now we're getting ready to have that great crash coming in the hills, which soon is going to hit America. Okay, and as we seen, the lady couldn't get her money out. That's how it's going to end up, you know, because no fiat currency has survived. You know, after a while, all fiat paper money soon starts to get inflated, and then hyperinflation, and that's what destroys economies. Okay, all right, and when we go to verses 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. A speedy riddance. So that's that nuclear destruction that's going to come. And like it states, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So you need to put the Lord first, okay, and seek his way, okay, so he can deliver you by way of getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
SVB alarm outside headquarters of Silicon Valley Bank in Santa Clara, California today.
They just came out and told us that the bank is shut down.
SVB, the 16th largest bank in the U.S. with $175 billion in deposits, is now the biggest American bank to fail since the 2008 financial crisis. Its customers are primarily businesses and investors in the tech sector. Customers rush to take their money out. The FDIC now stepping in, telling customers they will be able to access funds by Monday, but the guaranteed amount per depositor, $250,000.
Largest bank collapsed within hours, leaving customers in limbo and forcing federal regulators to swoop in. 16th largest bank collapsed within hours, leaving customers in limbo and forcing federal regulators to swoop in.
I want to walk our viewers through what happened to you. Your company had considerable funds, or I should say has, hopefully, considerable funds tied up in SVB, and almost immediately after hearing the bank was in trouble, you started trying to send wire transfers, right, from SVP to an account, I understand, at JP Morgan Chase. But when those weren't going through, you even went so far as to drive to the bank's headquarters yourself to see if you could withdraw $40,000 to meet your payroll, or at least part of your payroll. Pick up the story from here. How are you paying them?
I'm lucky enough to have some savings in my personal accounts, which I bank with a different bank. And
wait, you're using your personal money now? You're using your personal money to cover the payroll?
That's correct. I'm hoping that by the next payroll, some of this will be resolved, and we hopefully would have access to our funds. If not, then we are thinking about what that would look like as well.
James chapter 5 verses 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You have lived in pleasure on earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahweh. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and has long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. All praises to Yahweh, all praises to Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of Israel, and shalom to the believers, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. The lesson is entitled, Weep and Howl, you rich men, weep and howl. And you've seen the videos where the bank, the largest bank in American history, has collapsed. Okay, they're having bank runs, and they're saying that it'll be more banks to follow. Okay, they're saying it has also collapsed one of the crypto markets. Okay, so this is what we have been warning you about, the men of the Lord, on highways and hedges, that America would fall, and that there would be a great collapse. Okay, the Lord tells us not to put our trust in money and riches. Okay, it said Matthew 6:19. You get that? And it reads, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. So that's the reason why you are encouraged to put the kingdom of heaven first in your life. Okay, because one day you have money, and the next thing you know is gone. And no doubt these rich men are howling right now. Okay, literally crying, Okay, and that's going to happen all across America, Babylon the Great, because this whole system is going to fall. All right. Thus says the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay. First Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So we are admonished to seek the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness. Okay. Okay. Matthew 6:33. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Okay. So the Lord is admonishing us to seek first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.